Hello, in this video we will discuss about the beta-lactam, that is the antibiotics. So the mechanism of action and microbiome in our gut, we will learn about what is this and how it will affect to break down the cell wall of the bacteria, and it means the bacteria will lead to a death of the bacteria. So how it is possible and how to prevention of the bacterial infection through antibiotics. So this is the bacterial structure you can understand in this diagram, which that's contained. This is the flagella, and this is the pili and the containing capsule and the plasma membrane, as well as the inner is the double-stranded DNA, as a circular is the nucleoid, and this is the circular DNA. It is known as a nucleoid or chromosome. So on the other hand, the extracellular DNA also present is in the form of plasmid. So the bubble-like structure is here, and inside is the a lot of other organelles. Like this is the prokaryotes because it is without nucleus. So remember that things. Let's begin to understand the wall of the bacteria, the cell wall, the cell membrane and the cell wall of the bacteria. So the bacterial cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan means the glucose, basically the containing the peptides bond will lead to increase the capsule structure is known as the cell wall is here looking this in this diagram. This is the cytoplasm, and the cytoplasmic membrane also present. This is so this is the N-acetyl glucose amine, NAG, NAG, and N-acetyl muramic acid is known as the NAM. This both is the different containing a conjugated molecule combined together in the line wise, and the parallel will bind with the a chain of amino acid via a peptide bond is known as the peptidoglycan. This is the periplasm. The periplasm is the space between the plasma membrane as well as the peptidoglycan. So remember that things. So in gram-negative bacteria, the gap between cell membrane and cell wall is known as the periplasmic space. But most gram-positive bacteria do not have space and only have periplasm. So do not have space but only have periplasm. So the gram-negative bacteria gap between cell membrane and cell wall is known as the periplasm, but the most gram-positive bacteria do not have space and only have periplasm. So this is the formation of the NAG and NAM combined together via a peptide bond via a chain of amino acid combined together via a peptide bond will lead to modified and to form a outer region is the cell wall. So this is the precursor of peptidoglycan, and this is the cell wall acceptor and transglycosylation. In this way, you can understand this is the formation of the peptidoglycan as a cell wall, which that is able to resistance against the pathogen for the bacterial infection. So in this way, it should be degrade to infect the bacteria to lysis of the bacteria. So this is the arrangement of the peptidoglycan formation through a transpeptidase enzyme, and it is transpeptidase enzyme bind to form a penicillin binding protein formation. This penicillin binding protein means the penicillin can bind. This penicillin when bind the beta-lactams is the containing double ring structure will combine together to form will bind, and in this way the cell wall cross link will be impossible, and that is why the breakdown and the instability of the peptidoglycan will lead to lysis of the bacteria. So let's begin to understand the mechanism of the beta-lactam, the antibiotics like penicillin and cephalosporin. This is the major antibiotics 99% using in this time. So it will be bind with the enzyme. The transpeptidase will lead to inhibit the activity of transpeptidase to not form a peptidoglycan due to the peptide bond inhibition, because peptide bond will not form. So in this way, when peptide bond will be not formed, the cross linkage, the cell wall cross linkage will not form. In this way, the instability will occur of the bacteria. So this is the antibiotics will combine with a competitive inhibitor as a for the enzyme and the penicillin and cephalosporin. It is the competitive inhibitor will bind with the active site of the enzyme transpeptidase. So in this way, here you can see the high internal osmotic pressure will increase, will lead to not prevent the lysis of the bacterial cell wall due to the peptidoglycan instability, and antibiotic and penicillin binding protein complex stimulates the autolysis, and the digesting enzyme also produced will lead to lysis of these bacteria. So anyhow, in this way, I hope you make sense about this, and in this way, this will lead to breakdown of the bacteria to inhibit the infection if the bacteria is infectionable. So the bacteria if infectionable, it will inhibit the infection, lead to prevent the disease. But the major causes for and the harmful effect of the beta-lactam in our digestive system, we will also learn about that. So the gram-positive bacteria may have more layers than gram-negative bacteria and thus have much thicker cell wall. So the gram-negative bacteria is also involved for this breakdown, and in this way some mutualistic bacteria will also affect, but in this case the resistance will increase with the passage of time. So the resistance gene uptake from the outer environment and transformation for the evolutionary process to adopt in the digestive system will lead to residential place for the bacteria to compete the beta lactam and conjugation and evolution. So anyhow, I hope you make sense about these things, and this is the person which has content digestive system. This digestive system basically contains large intestine and the stomach and the small intestine, but the large intestine contains cecum. The cecum contains a bacterial residence is known as the microbiome. This microbiome is helpful as well as the harmful also, will lead to cause a barrier immunity due to the mucous membrane production from the serous gland. And in this way, here is the large intestine contain ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, and rectum and anus. So in this way, the cecum contain acetobacter, bacillus, anaerobes for breakdown starch to produce the short chain fatty acid and vitamin K for health increase in our body. And in this way, the physiology will increase the smooth and good health condition due to this microbiome, and it can be changed due to the many reasons, for example exercise, diet, and lifestyle. So anyhow, I hope you make sense about that. Let's begin to understand the further process and the further things. So here is the large intestine contain basically the microbiota is here. I am drawing, and in this way contain are many type of bacteria. Some bacteria is pathogenic, but some bacteria is non-pathogenic. But the barrier immunity, the mucus will prevent to invade this bacteria, and this is the endothelial cell of the large intestine. So anyhow, the decrease of the bacteria to no more mutualistic behavior to lose short chain fatty acid. In this way, the short chain fatty acid will not produce because it is very important, and that vitamin K also and the other ketones production which that will inhibit in this way. So decrease of the bacteria to no mutualistic behavior to lose short chain fatty acid and other ketones and other things, and lead to defecate the resistant starch and defecation of vitamin K and production as well as other things. And in this way the bacteria will not working, and in this way the problem will arise. And again, residence will be later and require time because the problems can be less water absorption and other pathogen invasion due to barrier mutualism loss, so will cause another disease. So in this way the antibiotic using process which that is also the part of harmful effect in our body due to the increase the pathogenicity in the large intestine due to the loss of the mutualistic bacteria and the pathogenic bacteria invasion easily because the defensive protein is also produced from the mutualistic bacteria from the microbiome will lose, and in this way the problem will arise with the pathogen decrease of the pathogen with the mutualistic bacteria also decrease due to the beta lactam effect. So I hope you make sense about that. This video about the beta lactams, the mechanism of action and microbiome in our gut. Thanks for watching. Bye. We will see in the next video.